and we are now recording. Hey, everybody.
Yay!
It is time for another downtime session of Lancer, the Lancer set campaign that I and Alice and Fefner are running together as co-GMs. I just wanted everybody to know, yesterday was my birthday, and I am now 39 years old. So, yay! Ooh. I just wanted to beat anybody else to saying it. I mean, I've talked a lot on this game about the mental illnesses that I struggle with and, like, the severe chronic suicidal ideation that I'm afflicted with. So this isn't exactly a day that I'm happy about. I'm not really capable of celebrating being alive because it's kind of sucks, actually. But I still am able to enjoy being alive vicariously through these absolute idiots who stupidly care about me for some dumb reason. Because
someday we'll figure out the jape you've given us all.
Yeah. So one day they'll find out that I've been evil all along, but today is not that day. But anyway, I can enjoy life because these people bring enjoyment into my life, even though I don't really have much enjoyment in my life otherwise because of this disease that is afflicting me. And I got a lovely spouse over here. He's actually sitting here next to me. And I have a great cat who's getting old now. And I got some cool gifts today from Hey Boots, from Jeff. So, yay.
It was me. I did it.
If you're, struggling with this shit, it's lonely. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. That's it. Let's get started.
Whew. All right.
Yeah, let's compete. If you're out there, other chronic suicidal.
Everybody say a thing real quick.
Yeah. Let's compete. I made
Thing.
This is 31 years now. I made it with chronic severe suicidal ideation. So come beat my high score, fuckers. Let's do this.
Test for Fef.
I've already said things.
Wow.
So I'm fine.
Yeah, and now that you said these things, you never have to say another thing this session. You can just sit in complete silence.
I'm gonna read manga. Bye, everybody.
Have fun reading JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2 Battle Tendency.
Gonna download some filthy yaoi doujinshis off the internet and just read them here like a
Nope, I have the toggle
doujinshi.
on Manga Deck set to not show that. Thank you.
Don't show my smut, please.
All right.
Not in this household.
Wow. Hey, Loka. Would you like to do the recap?
I mean, Loka has to duck out at the end of every one of these sessions,
yeah,
so
valid. He probably is not capable.
I'll do the recap.
Yeah,
I can do it.
You don't.
Yeah, do it.
You know, Jeff, I don't think you've ever done one.
I
Please.
think I have. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe I have. I don't know.
I
don't really pay attention to anything.
You know what? When Fefner goes back over these, because she's already making radio versions of this LP because she's insane and she apparently doesn't have enough projects, she'll let you know whether or not you've ever done one before. But I don't think you have. Anyway, please.
Well, it'll be fine. We're just gonna hold out till she gets Hyper High alive. Then she has to delete her entire history, and then we'll be free. Last time we went and found there's a biologist on that planet that is developing cures for diseases that split that planet, and Harrison was coming to get him because they wanted him instead. So we went and we fought Harrison mechs. They're like spider mechs, kind of. I think.
Spider mech.
The old man was very rude to me specifically because I jetted him.
They were like spider cyborgs. They were like half synthetic, half spider. They were like.
Yeah, that's probably the closest.
Yeah, it was all combat. I shot some web. I mean, I shot the web to get rid of them. I did not shoot web.
How does one shoot web?
With a rifle, mostly.
That's it. We won. I mean, it was a combat session. Not a lot happened.
I will say
I did a cool knife trick.
Yeah, the terrain effects were actually really a nice challenge that added to the encounter, Alice. So that was a really fun encounter.
I missed nearly all my attacks except against the terrain effects, which was fine.
Yeah, you did actually probably the most important thing in that session, which is actually use scan on the enemies so we didn't get caught off guard by that reaction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
And also deleted some webs.
Yeah, you also
Yeah.
Which was good.
destroyed those webs.
I absolutely would have gotten structured if you hadn't done that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
From
thanks.
the
So,
bottom
yeah,
of our hearts, thank you.
That was actually fun, Alice, and we rolled like shit, and it was actually kind of challenging. It's kind of hard to challenge when Cass and I accidentally built our characters to be perfectly synergized to each other. But you know,
What do you mean accidentally?
Maybe maybe that's
What
not
were you
Jenner's
doing?
side. Jenner does whatever.
Yeah, I just Cass, no offense, but I just do whatever. And so the fact that you just went this way and I just went that way, and we just so happened to chef's kiss, yes.
Jenner's like a dog
nice,
or a
yeah.
ghost.
What? Like a dog? No.
Or a ghost. They just do things arbitrarily.
Yeah, I'm just a ghost. Dogs don't do things arbitrarily, but ghosts do. Ghosts absolutely do. I am like a ghost. I'm like a cat.
I just picked a mech that I thought would synergize well with everyone else. All y'all are over here going like,
Just let me
I'm going to
reference
shoot
Marcus
guns from the back
except a
line,
Jen
and I'm
guide,
over
please.
here like, lock them down so you can take your shot.
I'm like a cat in that like there's a cup on the end of the table. Why did I knock it off? Fuck you.
Anyway, when you say you rolled like garbage, it was all of you, not me.
Yeah.
I rolled pretty well for most of that.
Fafnir rolled
There were
like,
a lot of crits in that
Yeah.
last session, as I
like,
remember.
It's been like it's always so weird. Like these games are so swingy. Where like there's always like a main character, but like it's not a bad thing. Like when you become the main character on Twitter,
Everyone's got a chance to be an MVP.
Yeah, like the session before this one, Scarlet just could not stop critting, and this time it was Fafnir who was just like utterly destroying. You know, there have been some times when I like as Quinn have just like not been able to stop critting, and it was just utterly obscene. So yeah, like this game is wild. Roll 20D systems are just whacked, yo. Anyway,
Yeah, they're very swingy because like there's one die that's very big.
yeah. We should probably start the downtime session. I figured I could run it. I got quote unquote run, you know, in the ways that downtime sessions are quote unquote run, and that we just kind of do whatever. So yeah, I mean, with Frost and Spiders, I guess we had to do a bit of after the fact stuff because we didn't quite finish up. So Alice, why don't you take over from here? We just finished taking that selfie, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was that the last?
No, that was
session?
the previous session.
Yeah, that's right,
This
yeah.
one we just won
We-
and then kind of had
We
to.
had picked up a botanist, and
Yeah,
nothing else had
we're
happened.
currently, like, I guess we're about to go into the ship to just, like, look it over and see what kind of damage was done to it, but yeah.
Yeah, actually. So, getting into the ship proper, you discover a couple of things. The first is that the spiders did, in fact, tear the place apart, which Archibald Tozer is incredibly unhappy about as he roots through things. But because you were able to get through the initial encounter quickly, that did actually have consequences. The consequences are they were not able to find his actual storage compartment, his secret one, which leads down into where his actual laboratory is kept, the main one. So they were not able to abscond with anything of importance. That's the only thing I really had to specifically go with you guys. You're eventually, like, his ship can get into orbit, and he gets sort of the timing from a ship that Rhea sent to escort it back out of the atmosphere to get you guys off the planet.
Does Rhea contact us again after the mission, or do we contact her to give her the all clear and the information?
She actually contacts Tozer directly. Apparently, she had told him to stay inside and wait for you, but he did not do that because he was too busy trying to get as much work done as possible before he was having to leave, which is why he got caught outside. He is thankful to all of you. He is kind of apologetic about the whole, like, you know, making, like, going nuts in your compartment thing. Bryn, he is a bit. He does apologize about that.
Is the scientist still mad at us?
If
No,
he
he's not
apologized,
really
Bryn
bad.
Bryn would take him. He would take that at face value. Be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it was a stressful situation.
Yeah, we all
I
have
understand.
our bad days.
No, he's not mad at any of you. Like he
I mean,
actually
I
thanks you
did
profusely.
basically
Like, he
just
was-
grab him off the ground and jam him into my mech. Like I wasn't
Mhm.
I wasn't not blameless here.
Yeah,
Either
he
was
was
just
just
to protect his
terrified.
life.
He was terrified because not only was he kind of in danger, but mostly because his work here is really important and could save a lot of lives. And he was terrified that somebody was going to shoot and miss and hit his ship, and it'd all be gone in a flash. Like 20 years of work. But now that everything is safe, he is really not only apologetic, but he's really grateful. You've managed to save all of his work without any of it being lost to Harrison.
We we do good work out here. I say hiding the fact that it was a complete accident.
I can see that. I'm really glad that Rhea sent you. She told me she would send the best.
Wow, she lied to you.
I wouldn't say so.
Sylvia will actually just like nudge Quinn when she does that, give her like a playful elbow bump.
I mean, you got to your Toomey in time. If you had been just a little later, you would have been able to draw them out, and they would have found what they wanted and destroyed my dropship. Trapped us all here on the planet.
Kind of neat how sometimes things work out that way, where you can just be in the right place at the right time. Yeah, I don't know, I'm sorry. I've been talking to some really weird people. No, they're not weird. They're really wonderful people, and they're so philosophical. So I'm kind of getting a bit at my own butt here. Sorry. She goes and sits down. Let me know when we're heading back. I'm gonna load a couple messages up onto the matchmaker. I'm also gonna be editing this footage. Isadora, send it back to Hyrule. She likes to watch you kill things with swords.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah, you
Like-
gotta make a Donkey on Harrison video.
Yep.
I mean, I like the mechs, but they suck.
Archibald actually overhears y'all talking about footage, and he actually tells you that he has the dropship actually has cameras all over it because
Multiple all the angles.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
because early on in his adventures on this planet, he was very wary of the local wildlife because apparently it is terrifying. And as part of that, he was keeping an eye on everything around his ship, and he'll actually offer you like a bunch of really, really good footage from a distance of basically all the highlights.
Oh, yeah, sure. Quinn's starting to show a little bit of disheartenedness as she accepts the video. Thank you.
And he says he's welcome, and he just gets the ship ready to go. Like he is eager to not have to put up with any more Harrison
Let
guys,
us
so he'll
just
leave you alone.
Get back to the Flavor Town. Yeah, the sooner the better. No offense. Yeah. Oh, did we get a sample of those damn things? We can kind of figure out what the fuck they are.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd probably take one.
Oh, the spiders?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. So they were actually, I don't know if this came up last time.
They
They
did
were
not.
half size. Because they are always slightly bigger than a human. You were correct. They were closer to cyborgs than they are full normal mechs.
Yeah.
Kind of power armor plus, and the pilots are gone. You can only assume that they have fled after their thing was rendered inoperable. And yeah, you could just haul one on. He'll let you.
Cool. Yeah.
Like he's got room to spare.
She's just gonna probably get these samples up to I guess Ryland, because Ryland's probably the one who would be most interested in learning that other organic species are being synthetically bioengineered against their will, whether or not they are sapient, sentient, or not. Because
Yeah.
Rot are still pretty mad about that.
Lyra's mech has two hands,
Yeah.
probably. So, like, I think we also should take one back to the Adalith.
We should definitely show Zoe too, because she's a huge nerd, and it'll force Fefner to have to write another dialogue.
Actually, I do have a question there. When you said that they were, Alex, you said they had a pilot who fled. Is there an organic component to these at all, or is it just it's a very very good nerve weave kind of thing going on there, kind of the way SSC mechs have?
So, kind of both. There is a place where a pilot definitely could be. At no point do any of you actually see a pilot exit with one of these vehicles, but there is a clear place where a pilot could be, and the thing has a part of it that is shaped like a person, connected to all of its crazy eldritch bullshit.
Well, I don't. That's not. No.
That's-
Nope.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
really
This
it
is
is really
profoundly
unsettling.
uncomfortable looking at this thing. I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like.
really unsettling. Like it opens up and there's nothing in there. What at least one of them you think has probably been occupied recently because whoever was in here hit their head on something.
Does it have like controls?
Not any that you're used to. It does not have any physical controls that you can see. It has a lot of wires. They look pretty gnarly.
All right.
Whoever was people in here are being plugged up into like 36 different things.
So Quinn,
Oh.
once we get back to the Flavor Town, Quinn's gonna see if any of the NHPs, if Cass's or Brand's NHP can pilot this thing before she sees if Null can pilot.
Well, they're also
before
busted to
you
hell.
do that, I actually have a character relevant reason to have to say that Sylvia is going to obsess over it for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like the kind of tech that was in her neck before.
Yep, it does.
Yeah, I think Sylvia's actually going to examine to see if it looks at all like the old interface, because she was pretty intimately familiar with that. She might be able to recognize it again.
What are you gonna roll here?
I don't know. What would you
I guess
call
it
appropriate?
would be
I have
like
hacker fix if that's relevant.
I think like investigate probably.
I would
Investigate
get
might
a,
make sense.
I
I don't
would
have
get
that.
accuracy for your background because that is your
Yeah,
backstory.
I will,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so just roll d20 with an accuracy.
Do you have a hacker fix?
Yeah, hacker fix is
I
probably
do have hacker
true
fix.
if you were trying to get
Yeah.
into it.
Do you if you got hacker fix, try it.
I've got a very good hacker fix actually.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
27.
Oh, that worked.
Nice.
Crit that 2 ways. Okay.
This is
Yeah.
what they used on you was less efficient and and far more cruel, but probably left you as more of a complete person.
Ugh.
Huh.
The way that these seem to work, if you are understanding them correctly, and you're pretty sure you are, as much as you don't want to be right, is that the amount of connection that you would need to have that this suggests for all of this stuff is that you would have to replace large portions of that person's like nervous system. Which means yeah,
this is a war crime.
yeah, this is definitely probably not okay. It is possible that this was done with their consent. It's very probable it was done with their consent, but whoever puts this kind of stuff in definitely would be able to control you afterwards, whether you knew it or not.
Yikes, man! My dad would just like get just the hugest bone. Like my bio dad, not you, dad. Would just get the hugest boner over this. Wow.
Yeah,
Isidora's
Sylvia will share this information with the rest of the crew, and she will also, after having examined that, kind of turn and go like, well, I was going to see if this was compatible with any of the hardware that was left in me to see if I could build better mobility devices off of it, but given this thing is super cursed.
This is deeply unsettling on both a philosophical and moral
Bryn,
level.
Do you guys want to get everything we can on the tech itself off of it and then hit it with a tachyon lance?
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
Let's not leave any evidence of
Let
this
us
for
put-
someone to
let's-
find.
Let us put this in like a sun. just pod this into a sun.
Oh, I can obliterate it.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you can't. It's insulated.
Yeah. Wow.
Fiber can obliterate
Yeah,
it.
it's immune to burn. It'll just sit there in the middle of the sun.
Not the burn I have.
Oh, yeah,
Not
Remember?
on the, not on the
Fire.
inside, it isn't.
Yeah, that's right. Issa's fire. You could rip that thing apart with Issa's fire. I forgot.
I mean, I'm sure if it's open and shoot into the inside,
Yeah,
it's not gonna matter.
You
Yeah.
could easily burn this thing to like nothing if you just open up the pod and just right into it.
Yeah, so we take like one of them and like parts them a couple other ones and then just utterly destroy everything else. Like just scraps.
Hey, scientist guy. I
He's a-
character. Like, did he ever tell us what he was studying? Because
He's a
like,
biologist.
what-
He's studying
Um,
diseases.
Yeah.
because like Harrison Armory sent this fucking shit here. Like, that means whatever they were working on is something that Harrison Armory is interested in. That means we might want to get as much information on this as possible to try and piece together what it is.
Well,
that's
I just assumed it
drawing
was they
Harrison's attention.
wanted the disease research so they could use it and keep it from the people on the planet.
Maybe.
So they
So
would
he
be
told
weakened.
you he had been researching the flora and fauna and specifically a couple of diseases that are incredibly virulent and only are on this planet. Do you want to ask him about
Oh
what
gosh.
he is?
Yeah. With Isidore, would you be willing to like stand here and translate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Quinn goes over and just says, "I'm sorry for interrupting you. We will be once you get us to the flavor, or once you get us to the Adolith, we'll be out of your hair. But assuming you have hair, I don't know. Can you explain a little bit more about what you're working on, please?"
Certainly. So,
The reason
Clear
the reason I ask is like Harrison Army sent this very Arath. That's a word you don't understand shit here, and I want to know why they would send this kind of crap here for what you're working on. Like why they would be interested in it.
I've asked the same question myself. I believe I know, and I wish it weren't true. What I was doing here, officially, I'm here for two purposes. My order sent me here on a medical mission, but I also came as a botanist. And I was interested in the unique flora and fauna of this world. It's the things that grow on this planet are far more simultaneously more toxic.
Whoa, hold on, just a second. Quinn goes over to her mech, and she gets the EMP that Hyrule scavenged from the martyrs and sets it off just in case there's any bugs in here. Okay, do continue. You've got about 2 hours before everything comes back on again.
Hadn't even thought of that. I'm incredibly.
Bryn just looked at his laptop like, oh, I was checking my email.
I am incredibly unprepared for this sort of situation. Anyway, I came here because the things that grow on this planet are far more hardy, yet far more toxic than they should be. It does not make sense. The way that this planet's biome works, for lack of a better word, nothing should be able to grow here that does, but it does. Unfortunately, there's also it seems to part of the why it seems to do is part of the mystery is that there are diseases on this planet, or rather there are biological agents on this planet that make humans incredibly sick but seem to sustain the natural wildlife. I was looking for a way to give humans either an immunity to it or perhaps allow us to live in harmony with it so that we could also benefit. I
recognize this reference.
I had run into a brick wall with my studies, and I started communicating very widely with my colleagues, both at home and Kyrie, and also abroad. And I had actually, against the wisdom of my friends, I did consult with experts from both the Harrison Corporal State and also SSC.
That explains the bugs. I was wondering about that.
Yes. And they were very helpful and very interested. And they both offered me a lot of money. And I I admit I could have handled their questioning their offers a bit more gracefully. I was disappointed in them as a fellow scientist, and may have said some harsh words and implied I would not be sharing my findings with them anymore. And I think they took it a bit personally.
Quinn looks over at Isadora and gives her like a "this dude's dead" look. Like we're gonna need to find a way to keep this guy from getting literally fucking assassinated.
Nod.
The key of the corpse is just to
Just
stall
that
forever.
very unspoken communication between Quinn and Isadora right there.
Sounds an awful lot like Harrison might have been interested in this because it could be potentially a genetic weapon. SSC, I'm assuming it was probably more the gene stock thing.
I talked to lots of others in the field. I was blind. I just wanted help. I wanted to help people, and where I saw a problem, everyone else seemed to see an opportunity. If you could harness this biological agent, you could do things with the human body that should not be possible. Give it abilities that stretch what is possible without having to resort to augmentation or to the dangers of genetic modification. You make something that can survive just about anywhere. And it never occurred to me that they would see that and think of it as something they could make into products.
Well, that's their trade.
Bryn walks to the hangar
and
he grabs a hose off the wall and just starts spraying his mech down with disinfectant.
I would actually advise that you all do that. She should have probably told you beforehand.
Yeah, we
but
should have well, you know how she be. She should decontaminate this. Yes.
We'll be fine.
This isn't. I'm not sure if this is a conversation I should be having with you, all things considered. Those cool people that I've spoken about, mentioned in passing, I'm not exactly sure how they would feel hearing what you've been working on here. To them, to try to bend the planet to your whim is being abusive to the planet and betraying the relationship that you have with the planet. And
no, you don't understand. That's what I wanted to avoid.
yeah,
I didn't want to change it. I wanted us to adapt to it.
yeah.
I wanted to know how it worked so that we could work with it, or at least avoid dying
Yes,
to it.
that is what I'm. This was not that was not a direct you. I'm sorry. That was the general Harrison Armory you, not you, Mr. NPC whose name I've forgotten. A more general. That was not a pointed finger at you accusation. I am approving of what you are doing and disapproving of what Harrison Armory is doing.
It is bleak, yes.
Well, now we know the story.
Why does everyone want to commit war crimes? Why? Every single fucking faction is committing war crimes.
Apparently they're fun.
They're not fun. They're bad.
I know. Wait a minute, you were in the military. How do you not know why?
Well, this is a rhetorical question, Sylvia. I know why.
It's because it's cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper. It's about
Dad, it's about that easy.
It's about the cheapness and it's about the psychological effect. And you know that.
Bryn could spring his mech down.
Yeah. All right. Let me get this EMP deactivated before the 2 hours it runs. Actually runs, so we can actually get the heck out of here because it literally shuts down everything. I hope Coriander's okay.
Coriander was not okay.
Oh no!
Yeah, we can't. So there's
Coriander's
nothing we
on
can
it.
do because we can't hack it because everything else is turned off.
Yeah,
we just have to wait.
Literally,
and I'm sure like ports the ship are also turned off right now.
The
like
EMP literally shuts off basically everything.
You should have asked before you did that.
Whoops.
I think we're just like floating through space, dead for right now.
No, we're fine. I got this. She goes over to the EMP and she just tinkers with it. And it can be disabled like that. The wub can be disabled. There. This thing.
Oh my.
By the way, I want to look into this and try and figure out what this is because. Yeah, this is not good.
Sylvia will actually walk over and take a look at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like it's a boombox, but an EMP wave that just shuts off anything like technological.
She's gonna actually take a look at it. Alice, well, really any of the DMs, I guess, because I don't really care who's doing the arbitrating here. Sylvia is a very established mech nerd. How mech nerd is she allowed to be in this situation? Because there's something that I know as a player in the core book, I'm not sure if she would necessarily know in character.
I mean,
Specifically,
in my opinion, she's your character and she can know what you know. And out of character, like, it's not like she can't just go jump into, like, the matchmaker and research it. Because I already established the matchmaker is still running. Because it's run by...
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Are you thinking about Deimos Accords, Cass?
No, I was thinking about just having her state that looks like something from that the Manticore pattern group has.
Mm-hmm.
Manticore pattern group.
Oh yeah, Horus.
Overture's a bit
Manticore
detached from standard stuff, but you've been out of Overture, so you might have picked it up beforehand.
If you actually,
you
because
know the best.
With the role you made earlier, you would be able to see it. It's definitely not Horus tech, but it looks like it was made by somebody who is a fan.
It's basically like a copycat killer.
Yeah, Sylvia's going to take a look at that and go, the thing that weirds me out about this, do we know if they had tech that was working when this thing went off? The people who were using it?
You have to ask Kyril. But you were there, Isadora. Were their mechs still going, the martyrs, after this thing went off?
Were they?
Yeah.
They were.
Hyrule literally got shot with a railgun from a mech, and it almost killed her. The mechs were
that would imply that this is somehow a shaped or a directed charge, or they have an insulation that stops the EMP.
Yeah, they have something that stops the EMP from hitting them. Yeah.
So, well, I'm not sure what to do with that.
Maybe it's like on a frequency or something. I'm gonna tinker with it and see if I can figure it out because I don't like this. Right?
I'm gonna call IPSN up. Actually, they're really high in material science. Maybe one of our contacts there has something we could use to shield our mechs, at least, if nothing else.
I have there's when I look through the code, it's weird. It's almost like if it's not in the right hands, it deletes a bunch of itself.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
So it's like I want to have no look at it. Like, so there's something alive in this EMP that is loyal. I don't know. This is worrying me.
Well, you take care of that. I'll go
That
make
sounds
some
like a downtime action to me.
Yep.
Which is the session that we're in right now.
So we get this thing shut down. Null as actually helps and like makes some very intrigued noises. Gets the EMP shut off and we get back to the Flavor Town. And here we are, right here on the Flavor Town map. Because I didn't turn myself off of the GM. We've been looking at the Flavor Town map this entire time. Oh good, we have been on the Flavor Town map this entire time. Good. So yeah. Quinn basically is probably gonna take this into, I guess, Coriander's room is the room where we do it, like, or do you want to just take it over to this lab over here, this lab over here? We do all the stuff.
Probably the other labs, because this sounds like a big thing.
Yeah.
Coriander's room just has, like, a server and a computer.
This one has,
it's like a server closet.
Yeah, this one has, like, a lot of the storage, and it's the closest to the women's restroom, so let's use this one. Yeah. So, yeah. So she'll pull it into this laboratory, yeah. we'll get to work on this. And Hyrule's here, but I was still too lazy to move her pog. But since I didn't turn myself off GM, I can actually go get her pog and bring her in here. I think, yeah. She'll come hang out for a bit longer, although she's not going to be here for too much longer. She's got crap to do. But yeah, she's looking better. She's.
You better be.
She tries not to complain. She wants to act tough, but she also knows that you'll that it's an act, and you'll like punish her or whatever, like give her shit. So she doesn't want to deal with it. She doesn't want to deal with the consequences of putting up airs. So, yeah, they patched her up. Maria probably gave Isidore like the full read of, wow, she got shot with a mech gun. That was fucked up. She nearly died. Good luck with her. Probably something to that effect. But yeah, she's all right. So she'll be sitting back, drinking a beer, drinking like a sci-fi White Claw or whatever, watching this. But yeah, I don't know if we want to do this downtime action first, or if we want to do it at a more narratively convenient time. But does anybody have anything they want to do first?
Yes, I do. I have a plan for sure.
Okay.
I, Bryn, wants to coordinate to figure out exactly what the plan is for getting Kovanen out of her situation.
Right.
Like, literally, like, make plans for this shit,
Yeah.
not just, like, wing it. I want to have some shit for that coming up.
The best thing that I can recommend for you is to contact Svava and talk to her about what to do to get Kovanen out.
Yes, I do that.
Yeah. You just, like, send her an
Jeff
email
B
or-
does not know what's happening here, but I, in character, should.
Yeah, so what Svava will tell you is that because Kovanen is under a lot, and I don't want to do the Svava voice, sorry, I'm just very tired, but she has like a grizzly, growly voice.
It's fine. You can give me the
The
summary.
TLDR is that Deliverance, she's their mascot. She is their Mickey Mouse, and like she's on all their branding and shit like this. So it's not like they're gonna let her go quietly or easily, or with any kind of not anything. It's not like we can just like put her in a cart and smuggle her out of here like the start of Skyrim. But
that wasn't smuggling. You were a prisoner in that situation. You've been arrested, Jenner. Come on.
Oh, good. You're finally awake.
I want
If it ain't got Kovanen, it's not delivered.
Kevin, they caught you across the border too.
You and that Deliverance NPC over there.
No, as I role playing, okay, Jeff.
Yes, I understand that part. Go on, Jenner.
Svava doesn't actually know, right? She knows the reference, but she doesn't know the full thing. Anyway.
No, that was me directly
That was all out
at
of
you, Jenner,
character.
in person.
Okay, good. All right. I'm just telling you, Svava, I role playing, getting it wrong on purpose. Anyway, so Svava explains that, but they do send her out for propaganda, and they do send her out as like a signal of good faith that like we're here to be good. So sometimes they'll even put her on the field, though it has been a while since they've made her a lieutenant colonel. She hasn't been on the field, but I believe I can get her deployed here soon onto Blair, the kettle pot that we were talking about. And if we start a big enough shitstorm, we can just slip her out, and they can fuck them.
Okay, then I will make a roll.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to make a roll for is I'm going to use, I think most appropriate here would be the buy some time downtime action. Because it especially says to extend a window of opportunity or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to basically lay the groundwork for that to happen.
Yep.
To make it easier in the moment.
She will start. You go ahead and add a d6 to this, because Svava will be helping you, and basically every ally that Quinn and the Hex Girls have made will be assisting you. So like Ryland the Garrote will be helping you. Freya, Svava's ex-Wink wife, will be helping you. The main characters, everybody who is in on this, Lionel, like they're all like, yes, let's get this fucking 17-year-old girl.
Not a great roll,
out
but
of
it's still.
this.
Bring it in, guys. 17's
I mean,
pretty
a 17
good.
is still a success.
It's nearly perfect.
So, here's what they have set up. Giving you some forward information about what's going on Blair.
Okay, I've added the reserves for that. We can talk about it later when it comes up.
Well, I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the situation now, and then I'll update you as we get there because you've bought time. It's going to change things a little bit, right? This is the situation as it is, and then when we get to those missions, I'll tell you about what the situation is as it is now. So, what the situation is now as it is that Deliverance has seized basically most of the communications on Blair. Not all, but most of the communications on Blair. However, anarchists and anti-fascists have managed to seize a handful of communications towers that they're using to maintain communications and send and stream the ongoings of Blair to space to keep people updated on what's going on down there. And Deliverance doesn't want people doesn't like it when people know that they're doing stuff that is not okay. So they've been having to behave themselves and not do martyr shit. Because they're being the anarchists can still get images out there of them being shitty if they be shitty, so they'll probably going to be hiring independent contractors to destroy those communications towers. So what I can do is 1, make sure there's still a communication network in there, and 2, make it so you're the ones going down there to destroy them, and 3, make it so Kovanen's sent down there so that when they are destroyed, it smooths over, because nothing terrible happens when Kovanen's around.
Yeah, so I think especially what my role there was for is I think we are explicitly giving those anarchists assistance.
Yep.
In what they're in the shit that they're doing.
Yep, you will in this mission. You will be specifically giving those anarchists assistance in both setting up the communications and ensuring that Kovanen can just be snuck out.
Yes, and also I think we're saving the resources in advance for this shit.
She does say that there's currently some kind of labor dispute between some of the laborers and the owners of the mines or whatever the labor is. Alice, can you fill me in on exactly what this labor dispute is again? Me, Jenner. Alice, you still there?
Alice.
Alice?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you explain what's going on with the labor dispute again going on Blair?
The colony is a big company town, basically. The local management on the planet would like to just do whatever the miners want because they used to be miners too, and they don't really care that much. But the corporate is worried that if they give in to the strikers' demands, that it will set a precedent that they cannot afford. So they have been trying to sort of bully them by shows of force. It hasn't been going well since their ability to actually defend the planet was called into question in the first mission we did.
Yeah.
I imagine that also all the video is making it so they can't use their harshest tactics because they'll be very obvious that they're doing it.
Yeah, they haven't really hurt very many people because up until recently, after the invasion, most of the people who they had on the planet were locals, and they're not exactly thrilled about the idea of roughing up their neighbors, but they were talking about sending professionals soon.
Yeah. So that would be a big reason why Deliverance wants to destroy these towers so that they can just crack down on this shit. So Svalbard says we pull Deliverance direction, attention, 5 different directions, right? It'll be so, it's a shell game at that point.
Okay, so that's all set up. Now the only thing left is to get her permission.
Yeah.
The hardest part of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Bryn calls Diaphone into the conference room.
Yeah, call her by her name, bitch.
Sorry, you haven't changed your fucking name in the Roll20. I keep looking at it.
Yes, I have.
No. Look down there in the corner. Your actual name as your character, as you.
Fuck you. Hold on. There. Look at you.
Bryn
eat my ass.
Gwyn calls Quinn into the conference room.
Okay. Quinn tells Isadora and Hyrule, please don't have sex on the EMP, and I'll be back. And
my
Naira's
God.
like, I'm gonna have sex
This-
with the CMP.
Fucking child.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, hey, Isidore, I want to have sex with the EMP.
Quinn walks in. Bryn has been working this like 3 hours.
Wait,
He's
I wanna
probably a little
hear
haggard because he's been
Isidore's
doing a lot of
response.
coordination
Hold
shit.
on, I want to hear Isidore's response.
If we lay the wrong way, we could just shut this entire place down, killing us all.
Hell yes.
I think the air would last long enough.
Yeah, I mean, the air would last long enough. Let's do
Don't
it.
please.
Let's do it for science.
Bryn is not the kind of guy that saves his work with any regularity.
She was
And he's got so many Word documents open.
It's
Yep.
true. He's got so many tabs open on his browser.
No, I don't do that. I don't live that life.
All right.
I use bookmarks.
All right, so you were
I
describing.
bookmark things that forget about them forever.
You were describing the scene.
The way you meant to do it.
Yeah, You were describing the scene that Quinn walks in on. Or
Yes,
walks
he's
into.
not. He's just tired. He's not like stressed out or nothing
Mm-hmm.
because this is the shit he likes doing.
Yeah. She actually brought like a an energy drink with her, like 2 cans of energy drink with her. She sets it down, one down, and pushes it towards you, and then like flops down in the chair by you and says,
Bryn stares at it like it's an alien. Doesn't understand.
It's melon flavored.
I'm okay.
Yes,
I'm fine.
apparently- Well, okay. Well, no, this one is not melon. I'm sorry. It's not in a language I can read. This is banana flavored. But did you know that the artificial flavor of banana comes from a banana that is completely extinct?
I did know that. Yes. I'll just have some coffee later. I'm fine.
Okay. I noticed some checks have been made in a to-do list on a lot of my files on the matchmaker. Is this what this is about?
Yes.
Lay it
So-
on me, Dad.
Bryn lays out the at the moment vague plan
Mhm.
for extracting Kovanen from her situation.
Mm-hmm.
And say, okay, we have all the logistical things dealt with as best we can. You know how it is when we go out in the field. There's one thing left that I cannot do. He waits a second and then you don't respond. Okay.
She's like looks at you like odd that you're like doing all this, and she's like starts trembling and like, but she's like you've stricken her speechless. Congratulations,
Look,
yeah.
just take a second. It's fine. It's just we're not like in a time crunch. Just take a deep breath. Babe, put down the energy drink. It's not helping.
Yeah, I don't think I need this anymore. I'm completely amped at this point. She just like,
Okay.
pushes it away. Thank you so much for all of this. I didn't think you cared. I mean, I knew that you cared, but not this much.
She's in a very bad situation, Quinn. Like,
She's like, I can't believe I'm gonna see her in the flesh. Like she's like,
Okay,
kind of
no.
coming apart now.
okay, cool your jets. Cool, hold on. Take a deep breath, because you have to do some work first. Okay, this is very important. We have to. This is not negotiable. We have to get her permission to allow this to happen to her. Okay, we're basically gonna be kidnapping her, right? It has to look like that.
Consensual kidnapping. Is there such a thing as consensual kidnapping?
Well, I mean, if she's willing to go with us, but it has to look like to Deliverance, it has to look like we are stealing their asset,
And
right?
she's trying to fight us, right?
Yeah, it can't be her idea at face value.
Oh.
However, I cannot do this unless she lets us do it.
Yeah. And that's just a more act that she's going to have to put. Well, the good news is when we're talking on their channels where they're watching, she and I just fight so much.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure you got that part
I
on.
bet
Yes.
they fucking think we hate each other. No, they're legitimate real fights. We're not fucking faking it. I hate it.
Yeah. No. I understand. But what I'm saying is, so your job, probably, I would definitely wait until closer to the time before you bring this up, because the less time she has to pretend like she doesn't know what's happening, the better. But you have to get her permission.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to. He like grabs your hand and looks in, like directly in your eyes and say, "This is not a joke. This is not like me japing about this. You have to do this, okay?
No, I agree.
Otherwise, we can. Otherwise, the whole plan we don't do it. Period."
Yeah, no, she nods. No, I agree. Like if she doesn't have a choice, then we're just being the same as Deliverance. We're just taking her for ourselves. She has to choose for herself. No, this is
Bryn looks right in your eyes and says, "We have to get her consent."
yeah. Quinn's like, yeah, I understand. No,
As if he's talking about the one thing here.
no, and like, yeah. I mean, okay. So, Dad, Hyrule explained it to me. I know what sex is now.
Oh my god, he puts his face in hands. That's not what I'm talking about. You know what? Fine. Just yes, you understand. Okay.
But
we're done.
like when you touch her hand, she looks at you like you just cast magic on her. And she starts shaking again. Because like as Quinn confided in Covenant, no like parent in her life has actually shown her real physical affection before, and she has no idea how to interact with human beings in a physical way.
Oh my god.
So like when every time she's hugged you all, it's been weird, right? So it's always felt weird. It's like she doesn't know what she's doing. Like she watched a guide on the internet for how to hug. So you're messing with her. This is good. It's cool. She's like, I don't want to, like, I want to give her a lot of time to think about it, but you're right. Like she'll also have to continue to pretend she doesn't know about it. It feels weird to like spring it on her, but yeah, I have to. You're right, but I have to think about how to go about this.
Yes, like you can talk to me about this before you do anything. That's fine. Just like you have to be the one that does it because I can't ask her. God forbid.
I know.
It would be weird. It wouldn't make any sense.
No. Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense at all. She's like mumbling, like she's like, how did the Ashai fucking do? I'm gonna talk to Hyrule. Thank you, Dad. Like, really.
Yes, I mean you could just ask, like you can just say things to someone about things you mean. Like you use your words and say, "Hey, this thing is the thing I'm talking about right now," and then say the thing.
Dad, I've already told her that I'm in love with her.
Sorry, that's Jeff.
Yeah.
That's Jeff laughing.
It went really great in that no, it's fucking terrible and it made it worse. We'll figure something out. I don't have any idea what the fuck's going on with her, but the sooner we can get her the fuck away from them, the sooner we can figure out what the fuck is going on with her.
Well, I imagine the immense amount of stress he's under probably is contributing to some of your relationship. Maybe not all of them. Probably not all of them. I'm not gonna give you excuses here, but
she's gonna need I'm gonna need so much therapy. She's gonna need so much therapy. Did you know that Deliverance basically has a monopoly on all the fucking mental health care professionals in the fucking galaxy?
I did know that. It's awful.
It's terrible. I want to make like gorilla psychologists.
Oh, now Bryn's thinking about little gorillas doing psychology.
Yeah. I'm not like that, Dad. No, she can't read your mind, but that's awesome.
He just gets like a wistful foray look for a second and shakes his head.
All right, Quinn gets up and she says, if I could use some help with something, maybe. You don't have to. I don't actually know how to physically interact with people. Like, I don't know how to hug or kiss or, like, fucking any of that.
You know who is really good at that? Lyra.
I mean...
Lyra has many skills.
Yeah, I'll go talk to Lyra about it. Thanks, Dad. She'll, like, hug a little better.
Oh, he'll give her like an actual like hug, like a normal person who's not
she'll try
deeply
and
damaged.
Mimic it. Yeah, got it. Give hug. Very good. It's nice. Like she holds on a little bit too long. It's a little awkward because this is probably the first time a real hug, right?
It's all about opening yourself up to vulnerability. Actually,
Wowzers.
Yeah, that sucks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. From now on, whenever you roll with empathy, go ahead and just add your background to it as well. Uh,
All right.
yeah. Quinn will release you. Be like, I'm sorry. Next. How long do you count for the hug before it returns? Before it gets Ock?
Bryn has already let go.
Yeah.
Take cues from the other person.
Yep. Let's go.
In that,
Yep.
Go lie down for a little while.
Yeah.
He takes both those energy drinks and throws them away.
Yeah, no, get it. Just space them. Just fucking space them. I think that Bryn has a little button on his desk and he can just like shoot things out into space and just watch him float in space.
Yeah, there's like a hatch in the
Yeah,
wall that
yeah.
like is an airlock.
Yeah.
It's like the size of like just like a 1x1 cube or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shoots it out there.
Quinn says, "I can't rest, but I will try and compose myself." I have.
No,
Is
you
this-
can
is this-
rest
is this
actually.
Is this a fucking order? Is this a dad's order? Fuck.
Yes.
Can I like misbehave? What will happen? Am I grounded if I say fuck you?
I mean, I can lock the doors in this in this space station,
I'll try and rest, Dad. Thank you.
and I can tell Isidore not to hack them open for me.
You know, I can just melt through them with the warp cannon, right?
Do you still have that?
You keep
Yeah.
that in your room?
Yes.
Bryn like walks off to get that.
No. Like, stop. Leave it. Look.
We're putting it in the
no,
gun case.
no,
It
no.
belongs to the other weapons.
No. Okay, as long as you're not.
Don't keep
destroying-
weapons in your room.
Wait, we might need it if the Mexico.
Just the one weapon.
We might need it if the Mexico Wild's in here again.
This is a war crime gun. It stays in the gun locker.
Fine.
You can keep the spear.
Okay, thank you.
Bryn takes the war crime gun
You
and
can
puts it
have
in
a
the
spear.
puts it in the gun locker.
Yeah, you'll poke your eye out with that. All right, she'll go like lay down and rest. But
Can I have the war
Listen.
crimes gun back if I prove I can take care of the other
Having a
weapon?
sidearm for protection is fine, but not the war crimes gun.
yeah, the fucking warp cannon is just literal like war crimes the gun. TM. Yeah. Quinn will like say fine, put it in the weapon locker. But like if there's an emergency, we'll figure something out. It's cool.
You know what? Having access to war crime gun makes it easy to do war crimes. Do you understand?
Yeah, Dad, I literally almost killed you with this fucking gun. So yes, I understand.
Yes. Yeah. So it goes in the locker, and Bryn puts it in the locker.
Do you want me to show you how it works?
No, I don't want to know how it works. I don't want to know how this weapon works.
Okay, well, it's
He did fire it once.
yeah.
I
You
did.
You did, and it felt like it had a really good recoil, and God, it melted through that mech like it was like wet butter, like hot butter.
Okay, we're gonna stop talking about this. Bryn is getting visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah, Quinn's is like, sorry, I'm getting a little, as they call it, getting a little aroused.
The thing is once you know the secret of war crimes, you know the secret of war crimes. You can't unlearn it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Quinn squeezes his shoulder because he's only a little bit taller than her. She's 5'9". And she heads off to go lay down. I'm gonna go lay down. I'm gonna text Lyra. They'll have a talk. Okay, so does anybody else want to do the downtimes? I guess like Eastdoor, do you want to work on the EMP?
I mean,
Or do you
really
wanna do
anything.
something different? Because I could do it with my downtime because that was probably what I was gonna do anyway.
Yeah, Isadora will be around for that scene, but in general, she's either in EMP room or I guess I'll just do my downtime now.
Yeah.
Only thing I really changed up is, of course, on Coriander. As usual, I'm doing a get focus, but on an NPC. So Coriander's getting that extended blade. So the carbon fiber sword is now threat 3, and also
It's such a long
first
sword.
time-
It's like Sephiroth's sword.
first time each turn that the Ronin performs a critical hit with it, all characters within threat take 2 kinetic damage,
Nice.
including the target. So
Nice.
just if Coriander ever crits, then it's just sword beams all the way.
Hell yeah.
Once again, Coriander has cut another useless object.
You're just gonna make that reference all the time. When I
Yes!
had said that this would probably be the last time any PC would have to talk to Pyro like in the flesh face to face, you'd said, "Oh, I should come." You Fafnir had said, "Oh, I should probably do a thing." So if you want to do that, now's the time. She's hanging out with you, sipping this beer.
Smoking and
yeah.
smoking on gin and ginger.
I mean, I don't have any specific conversation in mind. Isadora will probably just be talking tech as she's just altering the sword to make it better. just changing it on the blueprint and also just changing the print of it.
Yeah. I mean, Hyrule will largely just be asking Isidora questions about her backstory, like about herself, and then in exchange, telling Isidora things about her. And also occasionally, like, lapsing into short stories like she usually does. Like, just suddenly starts oral traditioning around Isidora about, like, how this reminds her of this myth that the Ashai have, right? Or this experience that she had, or this thing a buddy told her. It's always like, it's not always. Sometimes Isadora has an experience that she's just like, oh, that's completely not something that I can relate to, and that always perks Hyrule up because she like, yeah, that's new, and she doesn't have any context for that, so she likes that. It's a new story that she can tell, and she'll excitedly inform you that, well, like, one of her roles as an older person in her culture, our culture, she says, she corrects, is I have to pass on these traditions. It's like a responsibility that I have. So I can now tell the story of Isidora doing this thing. You get to live on in our oral tradition.
That is a rather nice tradition. For what I can tell,
I've
oral
shared-
tradition sort of died down a lot on Old Earth.
I've partaken in other oral traditions with you as well. Eyebrow waggle.
Oh my god.
Yes, indeed, but those aren't so public.
Oh, speaking of which, Sylvia, are you in this room when Hyrule's being filthy, or are you just, does your pog just so happen to be here? Sylvia.
Christ.
Ship.
Oh, Cass.
Rip Cass.
What? Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you
they
now.
can hear you now.
Have you been talking at
Okay,
all
good.
this entire time?
I've been very quiet for the past little bits of roleplay.
Alright. I was just asking, like, your pog is in this room. Is Sylvia in here while Hyrule's just
Okay,
being
yeah,
awful?
yeah, alright, yeah, I am actually listening in on this, and Sylvia will actually do the slow golf clap for that time, and then go back to whatever she was doing.
Yeah. Probably, Noel, like, is playing, probably has challenged you to a game of, like, Connect 4 or Tic-Tac-Toe, or, like, a very simple game. Yeah, so, what Quinn has done is built, like, a tiny, like, it's not tiny, it's about, like a little bigger than like, it's almost like a body pillow sized, platform that Noel can also be in and move around the flavor, town on. So Noel
Is it like one of those, like, grocery store robots?
Yeah, it's like one of those grocery store robots, but a little less creepy. And so Nola's here, and she is like will challenge you, like, Connect 4, like, to play video games or whatever. You're probably, like, over here, like, just learning from each other. Yeah, Hyrule smiles, and, like, laughs and says, "Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think, like, writing it down is all well and good, but oral tradition, I don't begrudge it. I think it's important because it's one of our failure to, write a lot of this down is one of the reasons why we've lost so much. There's no permanency except in the memories, right? And if you
the
kill,
other
like,
way around.
90% of us, just hypothetically speaking, she says, as if this is not an actual fact, then we lose everything if it's just all stored in our heads, right?
Of course, but it's the other way around when you write it down. You've deep dived through all of Quinn's archives. You can sort of figure out the context, and I think I've sort of been understanding the general writings of the period, but boy, some of that stuff is confusing.
It also kind of takes away the human element. It makes it more like this abstract thing than, like, it's harder to attach a person to it because it's just words on a page instead of a living, breathing person sitting next to you telling you the tale. It makes it more difficult to connect to it in my opinion, in that sentimental way that our people prefer.
Yeah, have you seen how many lore pages there are for various media and all of that old stuff? Like, nobody actually connected with anything.
Yeah,
Just lore.
it's just lore. Yeah, and a lot of it just makes like the you have to go down a rabbit hole. I kind of like that. To just figure out even what this thing means, you have to like follow all these citations back to what the hell this is even about to get the full context. Like, yes, you can get the context, but it's like it takes a while. Like, who has this kind of time? I basically, thank you, by the way, for teaching me a little bit how to code. Just made an AI to get to the original context for me, so I'm not spending hours of my life clicking through links, Wikipedia binging. Not that I haven't
No problem.
not that I haven't had anything better to do since somebody grounded me, made me lay in bed until I got better. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, regardless, the nature of our association means that I consider you one of us, the Ashai.
I see. Slowly just minimizing terms, Ashai terms. Yeah, I totally know all those off the top of my head.
No, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna start spouting off the stuff that you don't know. And when I do, I'll explain it to you because it's not like this is kind of, I guess, the biggest flaw. I think one of the bigger flaws. No culture is perfect, but the fact that we have all these words for understanding and getting it, but no real term for I don't get it. This expectation that you just understand us immediately is something that I want to work on. It makes it difficult for people to see the human in us because we're here not making any sense and demanding that you understand us, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So, I'm glad the translator can translate this much. Originally, before the AI could learned what was going on with how we speak, we were completely incomprehensible.
It is strange. Well, it all depends on how much information you have. Of course, the general structure of your language is more or less the same as the language we use. You know, the language that we use.
Yeah, the Galactic Common Tongue. Yeah, it is the same. I mean, again, I told you the original settlers the original Chai were anarchists who came down to start a commune, and now here we are, like 10,000 years later, or whatever. Who fucking knows? Anyway, hey,
But
Sylvia.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No,
it
Sylvia.
pretty much is. It's pretty much just a matter of you are an unknown quantity to the people of the galaxy. It's not exactly 1-1, of course, your words and ours, but. Well, there weren't a lot of people in the business of making sure your language was known. And thanks to Deliverance, it was the opposite, if anything.
Yeah.
So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't think it is as hard to interpret Ishai words as you might think it is. It's everyone else.
I believe I looking through how the translator AIs that we all have work. It kind of like there's bias in the code. The people who made this came in with this assumption already that the AI looks for specific things. The AI is programmed to determine if something is a threat first is threatening you, and because of how we speak, I think that led to a lot of the early misunderstandings. Because our terms, what if you know, are way more intense than the words that you would use for many similar concepts. We like do it like 120% or something. So I think when they're like, "Hey, are you friendly?" We went, "We are so friendly. We will destroy you." And it was like, "Oh, it only heard the destroy you, right?" And now there's 74 of us left in the galaxy. So
That is a kind assumption to make on the original translators. My guess would have been their interpretation was, yes, we want to be friends, and they just said, nah.
yeah, it's yeah, you're probably right.
I don't think you can blame all those war crimes on a bad translation of the talks between you and someone else.
Higher like Crowens says, yeah. I mean, I was trying to just like make up a headcanon that was more comfortable, but you're right. They just wanted to kill us and take our land and mind out the Ebrium, and they didn't give a fuck. I told you know about her name, Covanens.
Yes.
It wasn't originally an honorific name. She's the first one to get it as that name, as an honorific name.
I see.
So it's kind of a big deal. And there's been a couple Hyrules before me. Honorific names are weird like that. So Sylvia,
Yo,
about like your talks with Zella. She went by S. Can you tell me a little bit
yeah.
about what's going on with her? Because she is being weird. Maybe she's talking more earnestly with you.
She seems like she's in, I wouldn't call it a good place, but it's a better place than she was. And as Sylvia says this, since Sylvia's established to be playing some game with Null,
Yeah.
she's going to start making her move in Connect 4, like,
Yeah.
very intensely while still talking.
It is becoming clear to you that Null is letting you in.
Sylvia's just going to glare at Null and go like, you can try, I'm not that bad. And then look back. In all seriousness, when I last talked to her, she's not in a talking mood with the rest of you because she doesn't think you're going to approve of what she's doing. But what she's doing isn't necessarily evil.
Yeah, Hyrule.
She's got a good number of the I guess you all call them the Arath, the people who've got nothing left but anger. And she's running them on a blitzing campaign.
Well, it's a bit more complicated than that. When you are just very, very angry, you're Aegon, you're going too far, right? It is when you become so angry that you can't really go back. You like you are addicted. That's when you cross over into Arath. It's the belief that it would be the original belief was it would be impossible to bring you back. You become permanently lost. I feel differently. It devours your name and makes you can only be known as Arath.
Well, she found a bunch of people whose names haven't been in good shape, let's say, and a bunch of people connected to Deliverance who've been, from what I understand, high on drugs that make you want to murder people.
Yes, so that is what.
And she's trying to get them clean.
Yes, this is what I found on Vineyard. Yes, so just, Isidore, I wanted to tell you about the situation with those martyrs that we fought. Just so you know, dear. We don't have a word for murder in our language. And it would mean a lot to me if the girl we call Kovanen never learns that this is a thing that exists. Martyrdom.
She probably already knows.
I mean, she's actually already doing it. Does Bryn just walk in to say that?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
like
and that's
like
what Hyrule immediately responds. She's already doing it. Like, she's already behaving as one.
yeah, we have to be realistic with these things. Like, I understand wanting to think of the best of things, but like he just gestures out the window,
Yeah.
like at the universe.
Yeah. Hyrule looks to Sylvia and says, we didn't ask her to stop using the name S. She just started to do that. She appears to be projecting a lot of judgment from us that we do not have for her. I approve of what she's doing, and I don't know what kind of guilt she is bearing that is causing her to believe that we are seeing her in such a negative light.
Well,
It's my approval for her is complicated, but
you do approve.
yes, she's not. She's using her interpretation of what S did is acceptable to basically all of us. The Arath Lance is taking fire back in this very cute metaphorical way. Cute is a playful downplaying of what it really is. Yes, it's good. She should be yes.
Well, then, you should probably tell her that yourself. It would mean a lot more coming from someone who actually understands the story of S in that way that you do.
I don't feel like she listens to me. Isidora barely listens to me. I'm teasing you, sweetie. You listen to me very well.
Have you tried punching her? She usually listens if you punch her.
Let me show you what happens when I punch people. She doesn't do it to you, Isadora, but she does basically. Is there oh, you're still repairing the Flavor Town, right? There's still. Some
Bryn's
repairs.
right there.
No, she's not. She's not gonna do it to you, Bryn. Oh, wait, you're wearing your armor,
You just
right?
punch Sylvia. I'm right here.
No, he's wearing wearing
Sylvia, you're wearing the bodysuit, the armored bodysuit, right?
She's probably not in full hard suit right now because that'd be pretty bulky, but she's sitting and she's got her back braced.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do that. If you're still...
No, go ahead. Sylvia literally goes, go ahead, show me.
No.
I'm fine.
There's a plate of metal, and she punches, she can actually dent it with a punch.
Just hits one of the vent hoods on the in the lab there.
And that's real.
Sylvia just whistles and goes Sylvia just whistles and goes great. She'll definitely listen to you.
So, other than my leg, which is clearly prosthetic, I also lost this arm, and it is also prosthetic. And
Can I get the person who did that med work for you?
They're dead.
Those would be obscenely convenient.
Hyrule shakes her head sadly. Badru, my beloved companion, Badru is dead.
Oh, I'm genuinely sorry.
Yeah.
Well, at least she gave you something to remember it by.
Yes, he did.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, it's not, but your misunderstanding is okay.
No, I got your meaning. Listen, S or Sala or whatever she's been calling herself now, she tends to ignore you if you're not getting into conflict, and if you contact her through the matchmaker, you're able to pull your punches in there. When I'm in there, I can move with a full range of motion whether I'm wearing a hard suit or not.
And you hear a sudden voice just say, you could just use your right hand to punch her. The one that's not a power arm.
You know what? Bryn says, I think we're getting sidetracked. I think we're getting off topic here about what we're actually talking about.
Yeah. Hyrule says, what I wanted to talk about is, what I'm trying to talk about in this roundabout a shy way is how we get through to Kovanen.
Well, I think that we're not going to be able to do that by punching her, unfortunately.
Honestly,
That's my
Brim would
diplomacy
chime in here, and Brim would say, like, I think you really should worry more about that after she's no longer in the Thumb and Deliverance, because nothing's really going to be productive in that situation.
Yeah, Hyrule takes her arm away from the other arm, like away from around Isadora, and crosses them across her chest and says, "Yeah, and we have, I have been along with S while we have been collecting the martyrs into our ranks and trying to get the drugs out of their systems and help them get through the withdrawal and all that other stuff. And so I am well aware of what she has been doing out there. We are all of us, Fario, Ash, all the Arath that you met. We are all out there collecting all the martyrs. It is only a matter of time before Deliverance realizes their pet special, war crimes forces are missing. We haven't collected all of them, but we have gotten actually more than half of them now. Additionally, we are missing only 4 of our people, the Ashai, that have been consumed by into the Martyr Squad. Once we get those 4, only Ashai left in Deliverance aren't those who are fucked up like that, and they can just leave. Well, except Kovanen. That's that's more complicated.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Yes, I was literally working on that like an hour ago.
Yeah, she nods.
It's getting handled.
Please, if you can, to what extent you can, upload what you can onto the matchmaker and let me take a look at it. I don't know if we will be in a position to assist, but if we can, we will. I suspect, because of what Svava has told me, that we will be basically drawing Deliverance's attention. One of the infinite ways that we are going to be trying to draw it, to make sure that we can just get Kovanen out from there.
Yeah, I imagine that your involvement should be like in the way that you'd be involved in anything of Deliverance and fucking with them, and not directly, because you should not be it should not be all you who are the ones taking her, because they'll see what's happening immediately. They'll know what's going on with that, and they'll understand the motivation behind it, and instead of like some mercenaries kidnapping her.
She grunts and says, what I have proposed to Svava, and she's still thinking about it, is this: that while you are all doing whatever it is you're going to be doing on Blair, Svava go to Haven, where the Death Scythe now is. It is complete, and get on board of it.
It's done?
Yes.
Oh my god!
The weapon takes time to charge, and she gestures to the EMP, so we should figure this thing out quick.
Yeah, can you make that bigger?
Mm-hmm. And once she is in that ship, she will be assisting you, Sylvia, in making sure that the Arath Lance and you, Sylvia, and that whoever can show up, blow that thing out of the sky, out of space.
All right. In that case, I've got some work to do. And Sylvia's going to stand up. Rather, she's specifically going to grab the railing and haul herself upright, grab mobility, and probably a crutch.
Noel will move to support you, almost like fluidly, with a unnatural level of fluidity for something that is mechanical.
Yep. Sylvia's just going to go like, "Yo, Lyra, I'm going to need a hand with the Barbarossa again!"
Yeah.
And just call down the hallway and get started on that. And that...
I believe you are confused. The Barbarossa already has hands.
You know what I mean! You speak English as well as I do! Get over
It has
here!
2 of them. They are very
hey,
large.
hey,
I'm surprised
hey.
you did not see them.
It's not
She's
called
already coming over
English.
there.
It's called Galactic Common Tongue.
Is it based on English? Is it some other language? Who knows?
It's actually
It's
based-
obviously-
It's a galactic.
We're
It doesn't
obviously
matter if it's
speaking High
galactic common
Gothic.
tongue for
yeah,
the sake
we're obviously
of this
speaking High
argument.
Gothic. Jeez.
Well,
But yeah,
We're
yeah,
speak-
I'm gonna
we're
go ahead and
speaking
make my
Helvetica.
downtime roll
We're
here.
speaking a font, a language named after a font. It's
Oh, we've been speaking Helvetian this entire
We've
time.
been speaking
Gotcha.
Helvetica this entire time. No, it's Impact, bitches. All right, go.
So
How
I
are
am
we
going
speaking in
to try
Wingdings?
and
No.
I'm gonna try and complete the project from last time
Yep, go
where
ahead. Yeah.
we rig a long spool weapon onto this small ass ship.
At this time, Null will say that she has realized like what's going on here, and she will be giving you advice that actually works in this reality.
All right.
She explains.
Do you want me to claim an
that
accuracy dice
she
on
was-
that, or just make the roll as normal?
Take the accuracy dice as she explains to you that she was originally from an elsewhere, and then she became from an elsewhen.
Hey,
Yeah.
we did it! The project
Yep.
is complete.
You super did it.
Yeah.
So you.
All right.
Slap that bad boy on there. Yep.
What did we end up naming the ship again?
It's like the Alice Tactician or something like that.
That is Alice Tech was something along those lines.
Alice Lynn.
It was
Oh, yeah,
Alice, the Alice Lynn.
Yeah, Alice Lynn, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Alice Lynn.
'cause my waifu.
Yeah. Your wife.
Oh,
I can't believe it's. I mean, I like that you named it after a self ship. Actually, that's kind of cute.
Yeah. Once it's completed, Sylvia's just going to step back and then she's going to paint something on it, specifically a set of words.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically the words "this far, no farther."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice.
No passer on, no passer on.
And so Hyrule looks to Isidore and says, whatever you're going to be doing, let me help you out. And then I actually do have to go rejoin the Arath lands now that I'm not dying. And
Of course, of course.
finish what we started out there. Gonna get at least all of our people and as many martyrs as possible and tear the death scythe out of the sky.
And best of luck to you for that.
Well,
Don't get another one of these injuries. Keep, I don't know, a slingshot on you in case they have another EMP.
I'm gonna.
Something
Yeah.
to defend yourself.
I'm gonna download
Grim
one
pulls
of
out
those-
a knife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what doesn't work in APC is knives.
Yep. I mean, it actually shut down the cybernetics in my arm, so that was kind of scary.
I understand that's stressful, but you do have 2 arms.
I will.
So
I'm going to be basically doing what you said, cousin. She says, looking past you, Brenda, Quinn, who's hiding behind you. I'll be training with my right hand to be able to use knives and shit.
you can do some cool knife tricks.
Yep. Yeah, Quinn tries to take the knife from you to try and show her some cool knife tricks. It probably keep.
Bryn doesn't know any cool knife tricks. He shoots a knife.
Yep. Don't let. What do you got there, Quinn? A knife? No.
You know what? Actually, hold on. Bryn goes and calls his daughter.
Yes. Put her up on the vid screen. Yeah. They'll bring down the vid screen and bring Kentel up on there. What does she like? Does she show cool knife tricks?
No, yeah. So hey, you got some free time to do some one-on-one training.
Yeah.
And she's got nothing going on.
Yeah, she's got nothing going on now that Piri is recovered and has taken back over quote unquote governorship, right, of Frampt. She's free to basically do whatever. So yeah, Hyrule grins and says, I guess she grins over at you, Isidore, says we still have the matchmaker. It's not exactly the same, but
Of course.
Ken's like, I'll come out there. I got nothing to do.
you all wanna it shows like open up the intercom. Hey Lyra, Sylvia, you wanna do a mass brawl in the matchmaker?
Why not?
I would love to.
Battle Royale.
Yeah. Isidore, you wanna come fight?
No.
I've seen the footage. Quinn sent me the footage. I know you can kick ass, sweetheart.
I can, but I have other things I like to do.
Do you need assistance with what you're doing or not?
Go have fun.
All right, I'll check in with you before I have to go. She squeezes your hand and then goes to like rush off to her mech where her matchmaker's in and get inside of that. And I don't know. Let's just roll a.
Before she-
roll
As she squeezes the hand, Izura just smooches it.
Oh, she that's an in character. Oh, like holy shit, that's romantic. I'll get you back for this later. She says and rushes over to the hangar. Let's just do like a contested combat roll of some sort. Just to see who wins.
Oh, me?
Yeah, and like everybody who is gonna be in the battle royale. Oh jeez,
Alright.
Hyrule, come on, Hyrule.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Oh,
Dang,
wow, Brent's
23 almost beat a
Brent's
24.
So close. Oh,
Yeah, not even close.
So
Yeah, Brent's out there.
I think Hyrule goes.
Yeah,
to
I do not like doing contested roles for this. For the record.
I think like
It kind of
Sylvia-
defeats the purpose of being the one with the combat dice.
I think like Sylvia. I think like Hyrule goes for you first. That's the reason why, because like you're the super soldier, right? And you've actually been training in this thing.
the failed super soldier.
Yeah.
The only thing she got from that was CQC training.
Yeah.
She does
Lyra,
not actually have any other
Close
enhancements.
Lyra, come on, come on, Lyra, you can beat her. You can beat Hyrule. Come on, please.
You're going
This
after
is an
Kantal.
assault, right?
What?
This is assault, right?
Yeah,
Just whatever you
assault
want. Just
or whatever,
make-
like,
just-
what-
just
whatever you
roll-
want, Yeah.
Just roll D20 plus 6 plus D6. That's
Yep,
what everyone else
yep,
is doing.
Yep. Just basically do
Just
a D20
make the
plus
same
6
roll.
plus 1d6. Yep.
Doesn't matter. It's all fake.
Oh, so
21.
close. Oh
Oh,
wow.
24.
24. Oh, she tied. Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. Do you want to roll for Cantel too, Bryn?
I did. It was that.
Yeah,
25.
that was the
Bryn's-
23.
Bryn is not fighting in here. It's crazy.
Bryn's
I think
reffing.
Bryn is not
Sylvia
a
was
close
just
quarters
going for
combat guy.
Kantal.
Bryn's reffing. I think Bryn's reffing. Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He is not going in the master. He doesn't do that.
All right. Amazing.
He uses his computer.
All right. I
I
guess like
would think Sylvia was going for Kantal, and then just Hyrule comes in and suplexes her.
nothing personnel.
Okay, apparently. Yeah,
Uh,
this is not a good day to
Lyra-
be really contested.
Alice, since Lyra and Hyrule tied,
So dumb.
how would you like to narrate like this, like them just kind of, I guess, like fighting to a stalemate? Like, how does that
Hey, unless you want to add
I
another
think they do-
advantage
I think they-
for girlfriend energy.
I think that they do to each other's mechs like almost simultaneously that the most hilarious of BattleTech unfortunate happenings, which is you blow each other's arms off at precisely the right moment, and you're
Wait,
standing
are
there
we in Mex
armless.
or are we out of... I
No,
thought
this is VR fight. This is
hand.
melee
Oh.
fight.
yeah,
I thought that we were doing. I thought they were doing mechs in the.
No,
in
this
the
is
thing.
a fisticuffs.
Oh,
This is pure
okay.
This is because they have
Then I
to.
have a different.
They have to prepare
okay,
for
then.
EMP combat.
Yeah,
That's
They're
right.
Prepping for
I'm
EMP.
dumb.
Yeah.
I was like, you said that, and immediately I was thinking, oh, so we're doing Mech Warrior now. Though that I think it's more of a Lyra hits harder, but she's slower,
Mhm.
and like she's like they end up kind of like she gets taken off her feet, but then it's impossible to actually wrestle her on the ground because she's just got too much like force and leverage.
Yeah.
So they end up just like pretzeled
Yeah.
with neither of them able to actually pin the other one.
Yeah.
Technically,
It's just.
they're just gonna give up eventually.
Yeah, they're just like,
fuck
they just
this.
throw their hands up in the air. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, we have off screen. Well, I mean, I guess she was in the battle, but hey, we could give them extra advantages and see if that evens it out.
This doesn't matter. It's
do you-
Sylvia,
so does
I know,
that
but I
matter.
want to see Sylvia cheer.
yeah. Do you?
Lyra on and-
No,
Lyra,
I'm good. If
as
I do anything, it's gonna be curse.
Yeah.
Anyway, I only did that to give an individual reason for her to get training
Yep,
from someone
yep,
who's
yep,
good at melee
yep,
combat.
Yep. And Hyrule will probably befriend Cantel and like invite her to like chill and hang out and maybe even teach her some shy turns because she seems cool.
That's a dangerous thing to do.
Hyrule thinks that she can outdrink Cantel, but also she better not outdrink Cantel tonight because she has to go back to war. When this war's over,
I was we're talking about how Kanto will handle literally anything
yeah,
in any war.
Yeah.
yeah.
So who is going to do an investigation on the actual EMP for their downtime?
I'm going to be doing the investigate on the EMP with Quinn. That's going to be
Yeah.
her downtime action. Isadora, what are you going to be doing for your downtime action?
I already said it was the
The sword.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you
get focus roll
updated.
for sword.
Lyra, do you want to do yours? Or do you want me to do mine first?
Oh, you go ahead and do yours first.
All right. So I have to look at what kind of downtime action this is. I think it might also be power at a cost, but I'm not sure.
I mean, it would depend on what you want to get out of it. Like, it could just be the one where you get information on something.
Yeah, I think
It could also be buy time, because that's what you could use this thing for, is to give them time to get in there to actually break this thing, and it gives you reserve use of the mission for that purpose.
I'm gonna do gather information. I think that'll be, and I'll use investigate for this because the main thing Quinn wants to learn is what is going on with this thing. Quinn will
Also,
go ahead.
I was going to say you can add another advantage because Isadora is helping you with this.
Well, yeah, both Isadora and Null will be helping because Quinn thinks there's some kind of sentience in the EMP, and Null can as a sentience, right? can tap into that. So yeah, with both of you, definitely for sure. Oh yeah, 19 is really good. Yeah, let me actually roll it again to see if one is better than the other and see if it gets even better. But hold on. Nope.
Nope.
All right, so 19.
Yeah. So with a 19, let me put that in the gather information and see what it does. Hold on. Here we go.
I believe that's you find what you're looking for, but you either have to implicate someone innocent or leave clear evidence of your investigation.
Yeah, so...
This one's kind of tricky. I guess leave clear evidence of your rummaging. Who will figure this out? Knowing shrug.
Yeah, I'll do that. We'll leave clear evidence because, in fact, Hyrule will look to Isadora and say, I want her to know. This is personal. I'm going to make sure that she sees, right? Or Quinn will say, I want to make sure, right, that she sees. Not Hyrule, but yeah, Quinn will say, I want to make sure that Miria fucking Lambert fucking sees. That I'm figuring out her bullshit, right? This is personal. I'm scrolling. I'm tagging this I'm graffitiing, right? Her backyard.
This is up on your Twitter feed. It's a public.
I'm pissing on her rose bushes. Yeah, fuck you. And she just writes into the code so it doesn't affect the code in all caps. Fuck you, Miria. So yeah. All right, hold on. Yeah, and so I will just add that as a reserve, and there we go. So yeah, somebody, probably not, Miria at the minimum, but somebody else probably learns, she leaves clear evidence that it was her, that was Quintessence Sayer. But Quintessence Sayer was here, and Miria Lambert is a loser. What she finds out, for all of you, is effectively that, yes, there is some kind of, AI, not quite as smart as not quite an NHP, but basically what Coriander is currently in the CMP. Or what Coriander was before he became, if he is now an NHP. When he was in that transitionary state between, not quite an NHP and an NHP, a bit better.
It's a machine mind.
AI plus, yeah. Right? But yeah, not quite an NHP is in this. And it is basically recognizes what a deliverance mechs from non-deliverance mechs, or deliverance tech from non-deliverance tech, and will shut down anything that is non-deliverance tech. That isn't supernaturally powered by, sentimental bullshit like the matchmaker. So, this will help you, what if you can take time, and we have, Bryn did buy us some time, there is a way to, maybe reverse engineer this to be able to figure out. You could make a radar that pings if there's deliverance tech in the area, since this thing knows how to tell what deliverance tech is, a deliverance tech signature versus something different, then that means you can use it to also find deliverance tech, right? Just the opposite way. So yeah, taking the time on that. That will be a project for the next downtime that I'll begin, so we can, get that.
Could we also do that to potentially send false positives?
Yep, exactly. Yep. This will help a lot.
Oh, nice.
And additionally, there was a project that you were working on, Isadora. Isadora was working on making a short burst communicator between the mechs. How is that coming along?
Pretty much in the same spot. Just not entirely sure what the last step is. Like, all the tech seems to be there, and like we can use the matchmaker to do quick communications, but it's not quite as fast functioning as she might like.
Yeah, the thing what I explained to you is like the thing that Isadora was missing is the main thing is it's like a constant stream of information, right? And so it overloads. So basically, you need like a secretary AI that just kind of like it moves, like sends it back and forth to you. Basically, an AI assistant that basically facilitates the communication. So basically, when Quinn says, "I'm going to shoot a missile up their ass," the AI can like then like amidst all the other information being sent, like send that right over short range without overwhelming you. Additionally, how to power it so it doesn't get shut down by the EMP. It means like Ryland is going to have to show up here and do whatever weird crap Ryland does. So Ryland will show up here. In fact, we'll do that like this session, like right now. So like, how many days would you all say probably pass? GMs. As many as need be, right? At least a couple, like 2 or 3 pass. Harold hangs out for a couple more days. And long enough actually to finally meet this, like she wants to meet this mythical Ryland that she's heard so much about, right? Ryland shows up again. Ryland is 9 Garot, clustered together, acting as one entity. She just comes on in, they're big because they take up a lot of space because there's fucking 9 of them. And they're, they're bears. They're like bear tigers. That's how I described them, I believe. But, smart as fuck, as long as there's enough of them together.
Yeah, it's just a whole lot of Kumator from Mother 3. Yep.
So, she shows up and she takes a look at your short range communication. She adds a little bit of stuff to it. She gives it a pat and then steps back and just shrugs. And gives you a thumbs up. And then remembers that she has like the Stephen Hawking voice board, so she just type into it and it'll like say that there you go. It's basically powered the same way that the matchmaker is powered now. So if you get hit by an EMP, your short range communications will not be shut down.
Me, Jeff, has a thought about this. I feel like maybe it is a long-term bad thing that all these things are getting powered off of Quinn's latent psychic energies.
It's not her psychic energies, but yes. These 2 things probably won't overwhelm her, but there's definitely might be something to like why she is very tired beyond her like working herself to death.
Yes.
So definitely don't go. Maybe Bryn might want to step in and say, "That's it. Like I'm cutting you off."
No,
Don't put any more jumper cables on my
daughter.
I don't
think. Do any of us know about this?
Yeah,
I don't think any of us do.
I mean,
no.
We know that like the matchmaker is powered by some mysterious force. We don't know that it's connected to Quinn.
Yeah, we have no idea.
Yeah.
How would we?
Hyrule had only explained that when the EMP hit, the matchmaker continued to run, and that's how she was able to send Isadora that message and not die in that battle.
For all we know, actually, with this information, it might be that the AI mistook the matchmaker for a deliverance tag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't know. It's just weird. It keeps working. That's very, very strange. None of us know why.
Yeah, so Ryland just kind of says this is probably about as much of this as Ryland will actually be the one to acknowledge this is probably about as much of this as she'll be able to do. And if you want to do anything bigger, you'll have to find a way to power it through an EMP if you get hit by one. Yeah, because if I hook anything else, I hook anything else up to this, it will have some consequences that none of us want.
Bryn would ask because he doesn't know what consequences.
Ryland, the Rylands frown a little bit, and they kind of like they stand there silently for a moment, and you can like you get this feeling that like they're communicating to themselves, right? Before she speaks and says, "We are what Quinn calls from tabletop role play games psionic, and this technology is powered through supernatural means." And specifically, it was our idea, our meaning Quinn and my idea, to power it off of her feelings for Kovanen.
There is an inscrutable like look on Bryn's face that I don't think you can really put into words at him hearing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like on one hand he's like, "What?" and the other hand he's like, "Wait, what?" So I think it takes like a minute, like a full like solid 6 seconds to like compose himself and be like, "Okay, so what you're telling me is the matchmaker, and now this thing are literally being powered through probably the same weird crap that makes NHPs work, but it's coming from Quinn.
Yes.
Literally, like, okay, you go to bed early every night.
Gonna tuck you in and give you sleepy time tea. Quinn grumbles and says sometimes
And I think Bryn just starts like he's doing mental math of how many matchmakers they've given out at this point.
I just think I have to like. I also have to do some math. I don't think Cinder has one. I think like at Mac we got Lionel.
Are we talking like a dozen, a couple dozen?
It's under 10.
It's under 10. I think Josephias has it one. Rhea has one. Svava has one. Lionel has one. I think that's the main group that has one, and then like the Ashai have one. So each of the Ashai have one.
Okay,
So
you're not
Ashai
giving
have
out
one.
any more of those.
Yeah.
Bryn like put his foot down here. Like, listen, like I guess they're probably running on normal power when it's not like weird bullshit going on around them.
Yep. It's only.
But I don't think that's healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert in.
Yeah, and also Ark and Freya had one. Though Freya, now that she can hang out with Svava, just destroyed hers, so that's not in play anymore.
Okay,
will not be in play much longer. And also, Ark did like now that he doesn't need his anymore, he'll just use Svava's. Right, he got rid of his. So yeah.
Bryn's like he's like grimacing inside because you're like, okay, this is kind of necessary, but also I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Yeah. Quinn says, I'm just feeling a little worn down. It's fine. I think I'll let you know if it starts to adversely affect me. But I will try and get some sleep, but sometimes late at night is the only time I can talk to Kova.
All right, well, you're sleeping during the day then.
Yeah, I'll be like a real teenager dad and like sleep in until like 3 p.m. and then come down only to eat and then disappear back into my room to watch anime or whatever it is teenagers are supposed to be doing. What is it that teenagers do when they're not fighting in wars to save the galaxy? Hyrule like laughs.
I mean, do teenagers do anything else?
Hyrule laughs. Yeah, Hyrule almost.
There's a very.
Hyrule's like,
Is Sylvia present for this conversation?
Sylvia, you could be here. All the PCs can be
Yeah,
here.
Sylvia just raises her hand and goes like, "I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I got sold into debt slavery."
Yep. Hyrule laughs and looks to Eastnor, says, "I was about to say what was effectively the same thing you said." Bold of you to assume teenagers have ever done anything other than fight in wars.
I mean, Bryn just went to high school.
Mm-hmm. Bryn had.
Oh yeah, I mostly read.
Yeah, there you go. Finally, some normal people.
I spent most of my youth knife fighting in 0G.
I mean, I watched movies.
That's-
I played video games.
Mhm.
I went outside and just did stuff.
Outside sounds.
Didn't
Yeah,
think
you
about
had a charmed life. Damn,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
y'all people are lucky.
Yeah, Quinn.
yes.
says, well, I went to lavish parties with, dressed in the finest of garments, eating the most opulent of food. speaking on a first name basis to the most powerful people in this galaxy. So I guess I got you all beat. On
No,
that
that's
regard.
not a normal. That's not a normal.
Oh, that sounds
lesson at
awful.
all. The
Yeah, I'll
opposite of what we're
stick to
talking
reading.
about.
I'll tell you what I do miss. I really, really, really miss bad OmniNet romance novels. I should get back into that.
Oh,
And somebody
man.
just gets up and
Hyrule says, no, just check Isidora's tabs in the matchmaker. Sorry, sweetie, for outing you.
wait, what?
I mean, I don't make it a secret. You can just read romance. It's fine.
Yeah,
Oh.
everybody in the matchmaker. Did you just skim through the intro, says Quinn? I wrote a big document explaining this. She drags you over
I
the
was
matchmaker.
mostly just real. I barely use it, but most of the time I have used it, I mostly just sit under trees and listen to birds.
That's very nice.
All right, so there are these things called otome games. Otome may or may not be an actual word in galactic language. I don't know.
Yeah.
And at this point, we draw.
Hold on. I Jeff need a clarification here.
Mm-hmm.
Do the matchmakers run just normal fucking electricity, except
Yes.
when
Yeah,
okay, good.
Unless they they run on the actual whatever power is in the mechs. If you have power core or engine or whatever in there, it runs off of that.
Core.
Until there's a problem.
Yeah, whatever.
And then,
and if there's ever a power outage, then it goes to Quinn. So Quinn is the backup battery. It doesn't. It's always running off of her.
They're gonna have to get her more calories.
Yeah, it's only running off of her if all the other power sources go out. Yes.
Okay. Hopefully it does not happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen to all of them at the same time for some weird reason. I look directly at the camera.
Regardless, Quinn shows Sylvia Sylvia, you probably did just scroll down and click OK through the quote unquote lengthy terms of service that Quinn wrote. And it basically explains that everybody can just make their own tag and make it their whatever color they want, and then tag things with their own names. And you can actually sort content by that person's tag, and you can see what they've liked, and they can even make recommendations to you. So
My God,
yeah.
Quinn has invented Google Chrome in AI.
Well, it's a way more you can it's a way more, I would say, respectful for you towards you, Google Chrome, because you have to go to your settings to even allow people to make recommendations, so people can't just spam you, and you can allow who can recommend shit to you, right? So
It's Internet Archive, but more so.
Yeah.
Google Chrome if Google actually wasn't evil.
Yep. So you can't just get people can't just fucking spam you out of nowhere. You can say Isadora and Isadora only is allowed to recommend me things, and there you go. Yeah.
Oh no, you've reinvented the social networks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, time for my character to get involved in Spacebook.
Yeah, and if you
I have been waiting so long to make that pun.
If you
Thank you, I'll
actually,
say myself
it
that.
is Spacebook, and we named it Spacebook in episode 0. I thought it was hilarious. I will say that if you look into this thing, you will see that Quinn has a second tag that is invisible. So there's the Quinn tag, and then there is the Quinn 2 tag that she tags things that she's interested in that she doesn't want any of you to know she's looking at. So yeah.
Oh, that's the privacy set.
And there's the public Quinn tag where you can see all the weird shit that she's been looking at. She binge read all about the country of Costa Rica on Old Earth. And then there's the private Quinn tag, which who fucking knows what she's looking into? Probably how to have lesbian sex. Anyway. So, regardless, that was a successful roll, and that's what you learn is that this is run by that awakened AI, and it knows what Deliverance stuff is. And next downtime, I'll do a project roll with whoever wants to get involved. I told you all basically we'll be doing project rolls to finish Isadora's short range communications project, and also this project where we'll be able to send false signatures to Deliverance, right? So yeah.
All right.
Is there any more downtime actions? I think, Lyra, you had yours. So what are you doing? Hi, Alice.
Hello.
Would
Give
you
her
like
a
to do?
second.
Would you like to do your downtime action? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be impatient.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Alice. Like sometimes your microphone doesn't pick up, so I never know if you're taking a moment to think or if your mic is
Explaining
being
this
bad.
makes this take longer, Jenna.
Yep,
It's
sorry,
fine.
Go ahead, Alice. I wanted to apologize if I was being quote unquote impatient.
No, it's okay. To be honest with you, I've been trying to think really hard about what I even want to do for downtime this time. Last time I kind of helped with the whole ship thing.
Yep.
I kind of wasn't there one of those where you could it was like acquiring something or other.
Yeah. You get a hold of something, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to get a hold of something specifically.
Scrounger barter. Yeah.
With the knowledge that we may have to deal with our actual mechs being out of commission for at least a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wanted to see if she could get her hands on true cloaking technology. Is not really a thing in this universe, but something close.
Well, the Nimish can kind of like make their ships look like space, but
Yeah,
it makes
but something that works
it
on the
literally-
ground.
Yeah, it literally makes you look like space. Exactly, like you would look like space on the ground. So you want
Yeah,
preparation for the ground.
We do have that on the ship. Would you be looking for like anti-personnel like camouflage?
Yeah, she's kind of looking like for basically the equivalent of a camo cloak.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and do that, and I'll tell you, like, while you're making this roll, that if you remember, the Ashai gave you that technology for the illusion that you can put over your mech, so you can make it look like
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, you could actually integrate whatever you find into that to kind of mask over your mech or mask over yourself. Like it also,
Okay,
you could
so-
also put it in your hard suit. Depending on your roll. So let's see how you roll.
With that in mind, could I use a hacker fix here?
Yeah, hacker fix, and you can if you get like Hyro's help or some like or any of the other Ashai's help. Like Fario would actually probably be not Fario, sorry. Joanne would probably be the best for this. So
Yeah, she would definitely ask for help about this.
And Joanne will help you out. Oh,
That'd be
well,
11.
that's 11.
That's
Like,
still
that's
a success.
definitely a success. But this is very complicated shit, and it's very very deeply hidden, right? So, yeah.
So what does Scrounger barter do at 11?
What's Scrounger Barter do at an 11?
Let's see, scrounge or barter. Who's gonna find it first? Okay, so on a 10 to 19, you get what you want, but choose the price you need to pay: time, dignity, reputation, health, comfort, and wellness.
So what do you want to sacrifice? I'm actually gonna.
Probably time.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was actually going to suggest a bolt because of how low it was, but I also want this to impact Lyra's health. Like, this is
No,
definitely...
anything 10 to 19 is all the same.
That's valid.
There's no
So-
thresholds of successes.
Yeah,
on these
that's
things.
true. Lyra does get to pick, so I am recommending health because fuck you. Fafner's nicer and says time.
Actually, I like health.
Yeah.
I think that Lyra, I think the idea of being stuck in a dead mech kind of spooks her in a way that is like her culture is built around the idea that you are a mech warrior, and the idea of being in a combat situation with a dead mech is really spooking her out. So I think she spends a little too much time on this, and just kind of makes herself sort of loses lots of sleep over this.
Yep. Reminds
Everyone's losing sleep.
Yep. It reminds of when Quinn was churning away on the Matchmaker project. Same thing. Yep. So I mean, Sylvia's finally able to get you to go to bed, just like she had to start bullying Quinn to go to bed. But yeah, it definitely messed you up pretty bad. But yeah, you get it. It works, but it has like a time limit, right? You can stay hidden for a period of time that is narratively appropriate, right? Whatever the narrative requires for it to be cool is how long you can stay semi-hidden. When you move, people can still see the blurring around you, right? But if you stand still, yeah, you're basically invisible.
Awesome. That sounds great.
This is not a combat thing you can do. This is out of combat.
Well, no, I mean if she stands in one place and snipes.
Theoretically, it's not. She's not well trained to do it, but she if worse comes to worse, I guess you probably could just like sit there and like with a mine, like sit there and wait with a detonator if she had to.
Yeah. Additionally, like it still would basically give you the invisibility effect when you're in the flesh and blood. So it gives that that gives that mischance. Yeah. So, because even though they can see the blur, they still can't fucking see you. They just see a blur. They just see a Photoshop like thing going on in real life, right? It makes it really hard to actually hit you. So yeah. Cool. All right, I think that's all the downtime actions. Did anybody want to do any final roleplay before we stop for the night?
I think I'm good.
Okay. I do want to take like a quick 2-minute break to go to the bathroom because I'm not going to be able to hold it until the end of this. But then I'm going to go over Quinn and a conversation that Quinn has with Kova before we end. So
Okay.
anybody...
Well, I have to go to bed soon because I have to give at 6:30 for work.
I mean, okay. Well, then I'll just go over like the very very short version, which is Quinn does talk to Kova about like the consent thing, and it ultimately they realize it's on both their ends, and it's a big thing that I'll go over in more detail like in the IC channel, but basically like Kova relates to it as like she relates to it using Peter Pan, the book Peter Pan, as a metaphor. And Quinn doesn't like that because being lost is something bad to the Ashai, and as you know, the children in Peter Pan are known as the Lost Boys. So Quinn thinks that Kovan and his coding, like, I'm gonna like just get myself fucking devoured, and isn't a big fan of that. But ultimately, it comes down to the fact that the problem that Kova is having is it's not real enough. And the problem that Quinn is having is also that it's not real enough and that I don't know how to do it. And that's the end of their conversation, is basically, we just need to meet in real life. But at that, Kova stops her and grabs her and actually does touch her. For a moment they're solid, but then they let go immediately in shock. And tells her and invites, says, I want to schedule the next date because you've been scheduling all of the others. I have an idea. And that ends that conversation. So, Fafnir, guess what? The next conversation they have is that big fucking scene that you haven't read yet.
All right.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I guess we'll end here. Quinn goes to bed at a pretty decent time.
Yeah, Bryn, make sure.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Everyone is getting good sleep from now on.
Yeah.
Bryn is going to be militant about it.
Yep, Bryn's going to be militant about it.
Including us and you, the viewer, probably.
Yeah,
Good
please.
night.
Go to bed.
Sleep is
Jenna, go to sleep challenge.
Sleep isn't something that you can make up, folks. Good night.
Good night.